It's that time again when you're looking to get started with your fitness. This is something that you know that you need to get going and you may have put it off, but you know the time is now. It's that time when the seasons start changing and you know it's important that your fitness is something that is start to be a priority. We understand this may not be your first rodeo, but you understand you don't want to make the same mistakes you made before. I'm here to help you correct those mistakes on your fitness journey. I'm Lee Agbohlah with unfit Performance. In this video, I will show the 3 top mistakes that you make when you first start your fitness, and I'm gonna help you avoid those. I've been helping clients for 12 years now. I've helped hundreds make transformations. I want to share the same principles that I have led them to this path, to the healthy lifestyle that you're gonna learn within this video. When you think about starting off in your fitness journey, this is something that usually you've been calculating and you've been thinking about. And finally, it gets the urge to make yourself do it. But unfortunately, if you don't put the right preparation and use the right strategy to make this happen, you're quickly going to fade off into the distance and it'll be another failed weight loss trip. You'll be like many of the people that have started and stopped and going back to it. Now this may be you, but this is the cycle that most adults are going to face. We're going to make sure that you do not do that here. And the number one thing that you got to avoid is making sure that mistake of not having clear goals. Your goals have to be clear and they have to be defined to be able to make it happen. If you're just telling yourself, oh, I just want to do this, I want to do that, without not having a set goal and putting precise on what you're looking at happen, you're going to quickly suffer. And the reason these clear goals have to be set is because you have to have something that you're working on, something that's going to be pushing you. So instead of saying, I just want to get some weight off, how much weight do you want to get off? Why is it important that you lose that weight? And when would you like to be able to make this happen? So I would like to lose 50 pounds in the next 3 to 6 months because I am looking to be healthier, have more energy, and ultimately feel comfortable in my own skin again. Boom. Clear, concise goal that you want to hit. Now that's something that is defined, and now that's something you can work on, and you can put in more power by writing the goal down, creating a vision board, keeping track of that each and every day, reading your goals off before you go to sleep. These are some powerful techniques that will help to increase your rate of hitting the goal versus just having something you just say as bland as just saying, I want to get some weight off. It's not going to be concise. It's not a goal that you're pushing to. You don't have a set time frame that you're working on, and there's really no power behind it. There's no meaning to get you going because, hey, I just want to get some weight off. It's not something that's going to get you when those days get rough, when life is always going to throw you a curveball that you're not prepared for, and that's when you quickly fade off into distance. Like we said, it's another failed attempt. We don't want this to happen, so you got to have clear goals. This is something that every client I work with, I make them do before we even get started, and within knowing what is the goal. We need to know what it is so we can define it, so we can target it and make it possible. You have to do the same for yourself, and it has to mean a lot, right? It has to invoke some emotion to get yourself going because it will be difficult. You're not going to be as motivated. When you first start, you're going to be the highest motivation you will be, and that motivation will dissipate as you go within the journey. But you have to have the clear goals to get yourself to go, and that's number one. So the first mistake you got to avoid is not having clear goals. Secondly, you don't want to do what the majority of people do when they're starting a new goal within their fitness. They don't understand how nutrition is so important. They go on a restrictive diet. Now, restrictive diets have been proven to not work. And even though it is the most popular choice that everyone's going to make when they first get started, they're going to do some type of diet. It's going to be XYZ diet that either your best friend tried, your spouse, your favorite influencer, somebody, right? A celebrity. And now you believe that's going to be the difference for you. So all you goes from one diet to the other and you try a different one and thinking that the results are going to be different. Sadly, you're just doing the same thing. Every diet follows the same principles. It's all about restrictions, telling you can't eat this, can't eat that. The reason this is a problem is because our diet does not fall within that type of restriction. and your lifestyle doesn't fall within that restriction. When you have freedoms that you are used to have, liberties, and now you try to take it away, your body, your mind will have basically a fight, right? A fight to get you to not be successful. And this is a struggle that you continue to go through throughout the time of doing it. Now, even if you do get past that tough part of it and you get yourself to keep doing it and doing it, eventually it's not sustainable even after the fact. Now, this video is not just about you being successful to reach that initial goal, but be able to build upon that. And we know that within 9% of more people, within the next 2 years, they'll gain more weight than originally lost, even if they can break down that tough part of it to lose the weight. So that is why we don't want to do restricted diet. We know it's not sustainable and it does not fit our lifestyle and our personal choices. And you will struggle with that throughout the dilemma. No matter what part of the year it is, there's going to be some holidays that comes, there's going to be celebrations, vacations, and this is only going to make it difficult. Instead of going after a restricted diet, what you do need to do is understand how to make better nutritional choices, understand what you need to eat more of, and having a better relationship with eating. And that happens when you first educate yourself that food is a source of fuel for our body that is good. And then you work on the choices of understanding how that is going to give you the necessary nutrition, and that's going to get you the results. So eating more things that we know that are going to be good for us: proteins, our non-processed foods, our vegetables, our fruits, our grains. We need to focus more on shifting to eating that, but we can still enjoy from time to time a favorite slice of pizza, some ice cream, cookies, whatever your food that you love to have that you can't eat as much, but in moderation is going to work within your diet, right? And diet, what I mean is your overall what you eat, not going on these restricted crash diets. That's not what we want to do. So we can not make the mistake that so many people will do, or you may have done in the past, or like many of my clients, if that has been a thing you did until you learned the right way to go about it, well, this is the time to do that. So you understand you don't want to not have clear goals, don't want to go to restrictive diets, right? And the third thing that you want to make sure you're avoiding, what most people start, and that's going on overdrive. Now, you do need to put effort. You want to push yourself. You want to strive to the success. So this is not to say do not go hard about it and make it possible and commit to it. But if you go on overdrive and you don't allow yourself to ease your way into it, to be able to go step by step, right? If you try to go from step 1 to step 7 and you first start in your first week, that is what I'm talking about. There are steps that you need to take to allow yourself to go through it. And if you try to do too much at once, that's the problem that you will struggle from. So you need to allow yourself to build into the success of it and not go on the overdrive. And that is the problem, right? You do want to dive in. I understand it's like when water, right? You get in the pool, you don't want to put one foot in, you try to dive in. It's like, oh, okay, my body's going to get accustomed to it and then I'll be fine. It doesn't work the same way within your fitness because it's more gradual within that. This is something you got to understand that you've been struggling with and that has been an issue. So you try to not work within the step and the strategy to do it, you will basically overdrive yourself. That's one thing when I work with clients, I understand the foundational steps that need to be set first, because we cannot go from creating a dream house, doing it in 2 days, right? You got to build a foundation. You got to start building some other things like the roof, right? Doors. We understand that part is important. So you have to understand that within your fitness. So if you try to, go so fast with it, you're trying to do all this at once and putting yourself in overdrive, that's when you start suffering and you start having the issues where you feel like you're burning yourself out and it gets too much on your plate because you're already dealing with a lot of stuff in your life because your life is very busy. Then that's when you get to the point where you feel overwhelmed and you don't continue. We don't want that to happen. This is not only to get you start to reach your goals, but we want to make this in a lifestyle. So work on easing yourself into it. You don't need to work out 2 hours a day. You don't need to cut out all your favorite food. You don't need to try to do 2 workouts in the same day, right? You don't need to do all this that is not really leading you ultimately to the path of success. So you do need to do by step to build it, right? Let's work on things that you need to work on, actions each week to get better. Don't expect perfection right away because it's going to take time, right? You understand the famous expression, Rome wasn't built in one day. Apply it to yourself and you will see the results happen. So if you can avoid not having clear goals, not going to restrict diet, and on overdrive, putting yourself on overdrive, you will see the success happen for yourself. And I believe you can do that if you put the right actions. So let me know what is one action you will take from this video that is going to help you on your journey. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe.